Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Dangerous Zygos here with DJ Universe, Calvin Blingwell, and Dandy Market. And look, we got to start with a date that should make every creator in this culture freeze. On May 22nd, Rob Bass passed away at age 59. And while everyone is celebrating It Takes Two as one of the most sampled, most recognizable tracks in the entire history of hip hop, the real conversation behind closed doors is about publishing control, or rather, the lack of it.
Man, that hits crazy hard. Because look, It Takes Two dropped in 1988, went multi-platinum, and literally changed how DJs rock parties globally. But what people don't know is Rob Bass and DJ EZ Rock were getting sampled by everyone from Snoop Dogg to Ciara. And yet, because of how those early Profile Records contracts were structured, the guys who actually laid down the vocals and the beats weren't seeing the majority of that back end.
See, coming from Baton Rouge to LSU and then out here to Calabasas, this is the first thing they don't teach you in creative spaces. You think making it is just about getting your song in the club, but the industry operates on a completely different language. You got the master rights, which is the actual physical sound recording, and then you got the publishing rights, which is the underlying composition, the lyrics, the melody. If you don't control both, or at least have a clean split sheet, you're basically giving away your house and renting a room back from the landlord.
Man, you had to stay lit to survive in those early days. But being lit don't pay the tax man if the paperwork is trash. To me, this connects directly to the supreme mathematics of hip hop, knowledge of self. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know yourself. You see $100,000 advance check and you think you're rich, but you don't realize that's just a high interest loan you got to pay back before you see a single dime of royalties.
That's the ultimate trap. As a CEO of currency development, I look at an advance and I see a liability on a balance sheet. It's not income, it's recoupable. Meaning if the label spends 200 grand marketing your record and you got a $50,000 advance, you are $250,000 in the hole. You don't get a royalty check until that entire balance is zeroed out.
And back in Rob Bass's era, in 88, these guys didn't have lawyers who actually represented their interests. They had the label's lawyer saying, "Sign here, we'll get you on the radio." But today, bro, if you are an independent artist in 2024 and you are sending WAV files to producers without a split sheet signed before you leave the studio, you're playing yourself. There's no excuse now.
Exactly, DJ Universe. I don't care how good the vibe is in the room. Before we bounce the rough mix to email, we are filling out the split sheet. Who wrote the hook? Who did the drums? What's the percentage? Because once that song hits the algorithms, nobody remembers the verbal agreements. They only remember what's registered with the performance rights organizations.
So let's break down how this actually works today because the game has shifted. You got three distinct buckets of money you gotta master if you want to survive in this industry. First is the advance money, which, like Dangerous Zygos said, is a budget, not a salary. Second is your royalty streams, which covers your master royalties, your publishing, and your digital performance royalties through places like SoundExchange. And third is your active income, your shows, your merch, and your direct to fan sales.
Look at how those buckets play out in real time. On May 15th, Drake drops Iceman as a surprise release. No massive 3-month marketing campaign, no traditional radio rollout, just boom, here it is. That high velocity strategy works because his back end business is already a well oiled machine. He has the infrastructure to capture every single micro penny of streaming royalty the second that track hits the server.
But see, Drake is at a level where he can do that. For most artists, you need the structure. Look at Latto's campaign for her May album. That was a textbook masterclass in a planned rollout. You got the lead singles, the press runs, the pre-saves, the tour dates announced simultaneously, and the brand partnerships. She's driving traffic to all three buckets at the exact same time. The streaming feeds the tour sells the merch, and the merch keeps the cash flow liquid while she waits for the streaming royalties to clear 3 to 6 months from now.
And that delay is what kills artists. They think because they got a million streams today, they can buy a chain tomorrow. Nah, Spotify and Apple Music aren't paying you tomorrow. That money goes through a distributor, then through your publisher, and by the time it hits your bank account, it's next quarter. That's why SoundExchange is so critical. If you're an artist and you aren't registered with SoundExchange, you are literally leaving non-interactive digital radio money on the table from Pandora, SiriusXM, and webcasts. It's free money sitting in a vault with your name on it.
So let's give them the actual checklist. No more vague advice. Number 1. Register with ASCAP, BMI, or SESAC immediately. Number 2. Open that SoundExchange account. Number 3. Write down the splits on a piece of paper and sign it before you leave the studio. Number 4. Take 30% of every single performance check and put it in a separate account for taxes. Do not touch it. And number 5. Hire your own entertainment lawyer. If the label offers to pay for your lawyer, find a different one.
That 30% tax rule is the difference between a career and a bankruptcy. The IRS does not care about your aesthetic, they want their cut. So we got to leave the listeners with one final sharp question to chew on. When you look at your next release, are you actually building a catalog that's going to pay you and your family for the next 30 years? Or are you just chasing a fleeting moment on a playlist that's going to disappear by next Friday?
That's the real test. Rob Bass showed us the power of the record, but the business shows us how to keep it. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. We're out.